But anyway, so I was trying to say, basically, a lady had came up to the door, and I think it was one or two of them, a white lady and a black lady, and I know that I still had him in me, and my voice was still very, very deep, and I was scared when she asked me a question when she came up to the door. Cause at first they had me fooled because the black women kept coming up to my door and I kept screaming to the black ladies telling them I'm pregnant. They back here poisoning me and my baby, and then they was all acting like they didn't know what was going on. They was acting stupid, like, oh, fill out. It turns out they was involved. They all was in the whole facility to kill me. Wow. No wonder why God came into the jail. Wow. Now it's starting to make sense. So anyway, when she came up to the door, I was scared to answer whatever question she said or to ask her a question because I still had his voice in me. And I didn't want them to think I was demonically possessed and go tell somebody, and then they be like, okay, she's possessed in the cell, because my voice was so deep that you knew it was not me. Like, you would run. Like, you would just straight up run from me. And that's what she did. Soon as I spoke, when she came up to the door, I spoke. She was gone. Zoom, gonna tell somebody. And I thought that when she was gonna run off to tell, I figured that she was gonna go and tell them, oh, I'm possessed, and come in there to try to see if someone could get me, if they could somehow come in there to get me. But now that I know how satanic they are, I know they knew that it was God. I know that they knew. That's why she ran. Because they demonic as hell. So, basically, so I want to go back to a little bit that I was talking about America, because I had a vision of America. I had a vision not too long ago, and when I was over here, I went to sleep and I had a vision, and I was in a restaurant and it was showing black women in the restaurants overcharging me, and black men working there and black women, and they was overcharging me and not giving me receipts and then running off. And then the Holy Spirit was in me and he was saying, you need to give her receipt. I want the receipt. So I kept saying, I want the receipt. I want the receipt to my stuff, because you charged me a lot, like for some pancake biscuit or just some dumb stuff. And then charging me almost $20 for one meal. And then police trying to want to snoop around my bag to try to see if they could find marijuana. And then to try to have a reason to arrest me. And then something about young black women overcharging me in restaurants. And then when I want to know how much the stuff costs and everything, they running off, and they all in different restaurants, running over here to this restaurant, running over there to that restaurant, and then trying to provoke me to make me look like an auntie because my tooth is missing. So when I start going off about what they doing and I'm missing a tooth and I'm supposedly 30 years old now, I was telling her I'm your elder and I'm somebody's mama. So you could try to disrespect me and run around and do all you want to, but what if I was your mama? And they mamas is way older than me. I'm 30. They mamas is damn near 50, 60 years old. And you over there disrespecting your elder. And I'm somebody's mama. And so, then he was showing, then I was in like a nightclub. It was like a lounge. And then I had held the camera up to my face like this. And then I was like, I went over by two black men. It was like two young black men in the club. And I went over and sat right next to him because they was in the lounge. And I held up my phone like right up in my face. And I had been walking around with the phone all over the restaurant, going from restaurant. And I had my bags and I was running around like I was about to leave, but I was mad about them taking my money and doing all of that stuff with my money. Overcharging me. And I had went to all the managers in the restaurant, black male managers, black female managers, and for some reason there was no white people in these restaurants, even though in real life it's white people that's behind a lot of this stuff. In the vision that I had, it was black people who was in the restaurants doing this and overcharging me, and then running off when I want a receipt. They was running off and trying to show me how much money they make at the company. Or, oh, I got this, I get money, I get this, I get that, but overcharging me for food. And then I had went into this room. It was a lounge, like a club, and there was two young black men in there sitting down. And I had pulled out my phone by this time, and I guess I had been showing, I don't know, the phone just came out, and I had it in my face like this, but my hair was done. And then I went and sat right next. I sat right down to the two little young black guys, and they was talking to each other when I came in there. And I sat right next to them, and I held the camera up, and I was like, and they got these black men over here, right here, trying to listen to every word that I say, and that I'm saying. And then I was right there I was on the lounge sitting next to the two young black men when I said this. And then I got up and I walked out, and it was like a bedroom or something. And then I started walking to the living room to get me some hair, to do my hair. And then I put the hair in my bag, and then it was a winter coat right there. And then I had seen one of the black men was saying, oh no, like when I was leaving, oh no, like trying to change up, oh you good, we like you and all of this. And then I said no, because if you really liked me, or if you really cared about me, you wouldn't have tried to set it up for black women to be arguing with me. I said you wouldn't have set it up for me to be arguing with them girls back there. And then one of the black men was telling him, the other black man was like, don't go trying to say sorry to her, because then she not gonna trust you. So he was trying to teach him to handle me and to be mean to me and to try to do these rituals and stuff. And then so I wasn't hearing it. So when he came out, I was like, nah, because if you really cared about me, you wouldn't have tried to set it up to stage altercations between. Well, no, that's not what I said. I said you wouldn't have let them black girls disrespect me like that. And then so I had got me a little winter coat. And then that was pretty much, it. So I want to go into a little bit of more detail. Oh yeah, no. That's not. Let me go back. When he said when I said, because I got the Holy Spirit. So when I said, I had my camera up like this, and I was like, it was like a nightclub. I was like, y'all need to go. I had on the black and white little tank top shirt that I had on, that I have on in some of my videos. And I was like, and they got these black men over here to two young black men that was right there in the lounge with me. I was like, and they got these black men over here trying to listen to everything I'm trying to say, everything that I say, every word that I say. And they was over there talking to each other, but I had my phone, and that's what I said. And they got these black men over here trying to listen to every word that I say. And then I said, y'all need to come and get me and my children out of America because of what they are trying to do. And I pretty much already knew what that was. You know what that means. And then so that's when I walked out, and they was trying to tell me, oh, we like you and all of that mess, But anyway, so it say, in his right hand he held 7 stars from his mouth. Oh, and let me go ahead and say this. When they had me in the shitter doing what they was doing, and the Most High jumped into my body, and I told you he ran them off, they kept coming back. And God had to stay in me, in my body, in the cell with me. He had to stay in my body in order for me to live. or to make it up out of there without being a mental patient, because they was scaring the mess out of me. Ain't no way in hell I know how to deal with stuff like that. They was about to really drive me crazy. So for him to have, he had to be in me. And so he was like, they kept coming trying to cause me to kick the door down in the cell. So they was saying all this stuff was going to happen to my son, and they was going to kill me inside the cell. Somebody was on their way in there to kill me. And Cynthia Vera Spirit was saying, she came, and she was saying, you going to have to kick down the door to get up out of here, and all of this whole kind of stuff. So I started, and then my sisters had came, Larissa and Shakina. And they came and they were trying to tell me some old bogus stuff about God, and I'm Jehovah this and she Jehovah that and she Jehovah this and all of this stuff. And the truth was, they were just trying to get me to try to start kicking the door and behave violently. So they either needed me to behave like a mental patient, or they needed me to behave like I was violent, or they needed to get in my body and make me kill myself, or they needed to get in my body and make me go crazy. They was just doing evil. Spiritual wickedness. And it's not really like you can prove this kind of stuff. So it's only going to be God who going to be able to vindicate me. Somebody knocking at the window. Who is knocking at the window? Who is that? I want to know who it is. Hey, what's your name? Ty?
Yeah, Ty.
Here you come. All right. So they was doing spiritual wickedness. And it's only going to be God who can vindicate me. This is why the word talk about vindication, and I take that word very seriously, because, when people get in front of a court and accuse people day and night before God, right hand before God, and you got to have evidence for this. God is the judge. He makes the call. He say who is guilty, who not guilty. He releases prisoners and he sends them away. So back to what I was saying. So they was in there doing spiritual wickedness, and I started to kick the damn door because Cynthia was saying that she was putting she was getting a life insurance policy and saying that my son, that she was going to die and that she was going to leave my little boy the money, but she was going to put my son's soul in Austin's body. And saying that she was going to put Austin's soul in my son's body. So, no, I don't know. She said she was going to put Joseph's soul in my son's body. Or something like that. And that she wanted to get in my body. And she was saying that my son was going to be running around with all of that money in Austin's body, not with people taking advantage or with him not knowing what to do with the money. And just crazy stuff that, people, it's just when people doing satanic rituals and all of that stuff, you really don't worry about what the witch say, because the witch is going to lie to you. She going to deceive you. Then she finally told me, she was like, she put a hit out on me in the jail. And that's what she told me. She told me they put it, and then she was just telling me all kind of stuff. And then, God say don't even consort with a witch. So whatever she said, poo, that don't even matter. Whatever any of them said, poo, that don't matter, because they liars. They lying to this day about me being pregnant. They lying about every goddamn thing. Anything they put in my food, it was something about some meat with some old ass flies and some goddamn, all this shit. So I don't know. But I know God is showing something about a baby, and I feel a baby. So at the end of the day, I'm not finna sit over here and try to be proving everything that they did. That's spiritual wickedness. And the Most High was like, when they kept coming and I started kicking the door, now mind you, I'm pregnant, and I've been kicking the door, and I've been throwing trays, and I've been yelling and screaming because they didn't have no reason to be attacking me in my home, and then falsifying records, and then covering up police report, and then poisoning people. Fuck you, man. I want to live. I'm kicking the fucking door. Then you talk about you gonna do stuff to my baby out there. And then they told me they was gonna kill me in that cell. So I was kicking the door. I was scared. They was doing rituals. So they tricked me. And Jesus Christ had to come in the cell to calm me down because I was scared and I didn't know what was going on, and I was angry on top of that and hungry. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he come into the cell, like I told you, he had been in my body, and he like they was trying to jump in my body. So my sister was Shakina was trying to get in my body, Larissa and Cynthia, all of them was trying to get in my body. And it was witches, like celebrities. It was celebrity women. I lied when I said some of them was not trying to get in my body, because I gave them too much credit when I said they wasn't trying to do nothing to me. No, yes they was, because they was trying to get in my body. And at first they had someone had lied and was like, "Oh, we want to make you the most powerful woman in the United States." Bullshit. But I don't give a damn about that. Jesus Christ was there and he wasn't allowing nothing what they was talking about, and they was lying. So because my sister said to me, "Oh, she was gonna try to get in my body to make me kill myself." So basically, Jesus Christ had come. They was all trying to get. They was like, "Come on, let us in," you know. And they was famous women trying to get into my body, and I mean, like, oh my goodness. And so, like, I couldn't see them, but I heard their voices, and they was grabbing me. You know what I'm saying? All this old kind of mess. And some that was flying around, that was all over the cell. Like, it was so horrible, man. And Jesus Christ had to get in me, and then he cast them out. He was like, he held out my arms like that on both sides of me. And then his voice was so deep. And he was like, "I cast you out of the kingdom of heaven." He was like, "I cast you out of the kingdom of heaven." And they just like started keep trying to scratch on my body to get in, like they were trying to get into heaven. Like there was a wall being put up to where like outside, like dogs and sorcerers and murderers, like, you know, like that. That's what it was. And then they still kept coming to try to get in, but they couldn't. And they were screaming. And they're begging to come inside. "Oh no! Let us in! No!" And I said it again, but my voice was deep. "I cast you out of the kingdom of heaven." And then it was like I just sealed up. Then I held my arms out again. God was still in me. And I said, "I call all my bloodlines. I call all my bloodlines." And I just felt like spirits come from all over the world, all over the globe, every continent, every mass of land, everywhere they might be hidden, and call them into my body like something serious is going on. Like we connected. And even though they probably can't kill me now, it was like, right then, it was like they couldn't kill me. Like in that moment. And I felt so much life come into me. I felt love. I felt innocence. And they were screaming trying to get in. But they couldn't. He cast them out. But I ain't understand because it ain't like it was no big old fight or nothing like that, you know. So it was a fight. Yeah, we was fighting. We was back there fighting in the cell. In the spirit, I was fighting them. The witches was coming to fight me. God called them Wicked White Witch. They was coming to fight me. The white devil come fight me. I'm running from him. Tell him to get away from me. I told Satan, get away from me, Satan. I was beating up all the black women voodoo ones that was coming. Beating up my homegirls, them foes that was coming to my